Hey, it's me, Mo the Clown. Welcome to this edition of the stream. And joining me playing, of course, is Shadow the Hedgehog. Say hello.
All right. Welcome to the stream, for real this time.
So let's...
Must you?
Yes. Hey, my vocal cords are gonna die this stream, so give me a break.
My sincere condolences to you.
Alright, so we're gonna start the trial of Tournament Big Top, which is quite long, so we'll probably just do the trial tonight.
Yeah.
Good morning, Max.
Max?
Milk.
What?
I don't have a glass of milk before I go on stage. I just can't function, sweetie.
Stage? Don't worry, there won't be a stage. All you have to do is sit down.
I guess.
Nick, Max is really nervous.
That's understandable. Hey, my sweeties! What? You don't think I should fly, do you? Huh? You know, you've got to make a good first impression. When I enter the room, maybe I should fly in and warm up the crowd a little. No. We can't be having you flying around the courtroom. Just wouldn't be right. Imagine if you hit someone.
Don't worry, Max. Just do what Nick says and everything will be okay.
Oh, sweetie. What is it this time, Max? Why don't you try flying into the courtroom? I can see it now. The dashing young lawyer flying fabulously in from above. One glimpse of that and everyone in the room will be on your side.
Max, really, no one needs to fly today. Nick, what's with that look in your eyes?
I like the sound of that. Dashing young lawyer flying fabulously.
Oh, God.
And now the case of what? Oh, what?
Your Honor, get on with it.
Oh, sorry. I just realized that the defendant's name is Billy Bob Johns. So... Well, isn't the defendant also known as Maximilian Galactica? Yes, Your Honor. He does often go by that name. You know, my grandchild is a huge fan of his. I think everyone here wouldn't mind if we call the defendant Maximilian Galactica. It sounds more friendly. I wonder if that's to our advantage. Miss Von Karma, your opening statement, if you please.
I hope you didn't bother thinking you would win this one, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
Eh?
That spirit channeling trial was a sham. I refuse to acknowledge its legitimacy. It did not count. Do you hear me?
Whatever you say.
Is someone being a sore loser?
Clearly. She must still be upset about what happened last time.
No shit! You have no chance. Zero. Zilch. Nada. I'm not losing this case. Why, you ask? Because it is not in the nature of Von Karma to lose at anything. Ask your dad. I guess being born with the name Von Karma is a free pass to be arrogant and annoying.
No, Ali 1391, they don't all take place in December, just this one specifically.
Yeah. Though in the first game and the last trial, it was the statute of limitations, so...
Yeah.
Watch and learn, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I'll show you the textbook procedure for proving how absolutely guilty you are.
Me? Guilty? Ow! What are you talking about?
It will be my ultimate revenge. But it's not like I'll bring her dad back. Burn. There. Opening statement complete. Now let's hurry and wrap up this waste of time.
Very well. You may call your first witness, Miss Von Karma.
Detective Dick Gumshoe, get up there. Now.
Yes, sir!
Sorry to keep you from work, as I'm sure you need every penny you can earn, Detective.
Don't mention it! It's no trouble at all. I've been looking forward to this.
Very well. I would like you to begin by shedding light on the events in question.
At your service, sir. All right, Detective. You may proceed with your testimony. The night of the crime, snow was falling until 9:40 p.m., making it extremely cold out. All the circus performers were gathered in the big top to practice their routines. The practice session broke up around 10 p.m. The murder itself took place in the plaza in front of the lodging house at 10:15 p.m. The victim was found bent over a wooden box, dead as a doornail. The cause of death was blunt force trauma that snapped a vertebrae in his neck. Ooh.
Fuck! That's one way to die.
Yeah, no kidding. He was beaten to death. Here's the autopsy report for the victim. The court accepts this into evidence.
Thank you.
A blunt object. Very well. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor.
Alright, Gumshoe. Talk.
Let me ask you about the snow. It was nearly a blizzard up until the time of the crime. Did it pile up? It wasn't such a big deal. Maybe about 1.5 inches was on the ground. The snow froze in place and stayed on ground until the next day. Snow. Let me see. There's gotta be more to this.
What's the matter, Nick?
I need to take a look at the court record. Mr. Gumshoe, what were members of the circus doing on the night of the crime? All the circus performers were whoops. When you say all the circus performers, who do you mean? Everyone but the dancers and staff were there. Regina, the animal tamer, Mo the clown, Ben the ventriloquist, and of course the defendant, Maximilian Galactica, and his victim, the ringmaster. Oh, I almost forgot. Regent the tiger was there as well. Out of curiosity, what about the circus monkey? When I was investigating yesterday, he happened to snatch my wristwatch. Detective, you are welcome to file a police report after these proceedings. After the practice was over, where did everybody head off to? Regina was playing with Regent while Mo went back to his room tired from work. Ben the ventriloquist went to the front gate, absorbed in his own world. The ringmaster and Max went off to the ringmaster's room to talk privately. Talk privately, huh? That's awfully suspicious. You wouldn't happen to know what they were talking about, would you? It seems they were negotiating Max's salary. Actually, Max was asking for Regina's hand in marriage. I'd like you to be a bit more specific about the events at 10:15 p.m. Okay, not a problem, pal. We've got a witness that told us how the whole thing went. Oh! Ooh.
This is totally meaningless. Time to move on.
Alright, we'll just have to revisit that testimony later. Detective Gumshoe, would you mind telling us how the victim met his end? A wooden box. That's right. The victim must have been carrying the wooden box when he was killed. Carrying the box, huh? It was a rather strange wooden box, Your Honor. What do you mean? Well, it was much heavier than it looked, not to mention it was locked. Locked, you say? Thank you.
Okay.
This may be my only chance, so I might as well ask some questions.
What was in the box? About the contents?
You mind telling us what was inside that box? Well, when we found the box, it was locked tighter than Fort Knox. So we took it back to the station and cracked it open. All that was inside was this little bottle. Bottle? What is that, Detective? Exactly what it looks like, Your Honor. It's a condiment bottle. What's inside the bottle? It's filled with Pepper. Pepper? Why in the world was it locked in that big box? There's only one little bottle in that huge box.
I wonder if it has some sort of special meaning. It does.
Yes, it does. It does. According to the autopsy report, the murder weapon was a blunt object, correct? You've done your homework, pal. And you haven't found this murder weapon, have you?
The police are searching for it as we speak.
My theory is that something the perpetrator ran off with. You would think so, especially since you didn't find it on the scene. No. I bet he made it disappear with magic. Well, I think we have a good feel for the details of the event now. I guess that's all we're going to get out of Gumshoe in this case.
You mean all we're gonna get out of him is that little bottle of pepper? Now that we have wrapped up with the detective, I'd like to call my next witness.
I'm not even off the stand yet.
Obviously, but that's due to you being slow and unable to take a hint. Damn.
I don't know, but wrapped up has such a mean sound to it. I'm a sensitive guy.
I love Gumshoe.
Thank you very much, Detective Gumshoe. You may step down. Miss Von Karma, call your next witness.
I would like to call Mr. Benjamin Woodman to the stand.
She must be talking about Ben the ventriloquist.
I wonder if Trilla would show up on the stand as well. Hey, it's Jeff Dunham. Please state your name and occupation for the record.
My full name is Trilla Quist. I'm employed as an operatic tenor.
Excuse me? The witness called to the stand one was Mr. Benjamin Woodman, ventriloquist.
That robe must be cutting off your circulation. I said I was a singer. Maybe you don't believe me? Fine, I'll grace you with a song. Ahem. Me. The world of the law. Exciting and daring.
Oh wait, is he singing this?
Yeah, he's singing.
I ain't singing this.
Guilt or innocence.
Decided by a judge.
Decided by a judge dressed up like a woman.
Well, what do you think?
It had a good rhythm.
It's just the lyrics. They leave something to be desired, so to speak. Drillo, you know better than to insult a judge. Ow.
Shut up! Just look at your nose. You would think you'd have the sense to fix it. It's so ugly, I want to punch it in the face. Ugh. Punch in the face on the off chance swelling would help. You know that your nose is the reason you've never been an A-list star.
Celebrities must really enjoy saying everything that flashes into their minds.
What's going on here? Order! I demand to know who the witness is. Don't worry about me, sir. I'll let Trilla handle this. I'm not worried about you one. Oh!
You won't get anywhere trying to figure out this witness. Now, let's proceed.
Once practice was over, I left the tent with a stooge, clown. Once we got to the lodging house, I ditched him and went back to the plaza's entrance. That's when I saw Max heading towards the scene of the crime. He was the only one heading that way. How could that punk not be the killer? Then the police showed up and took Magic Boy away.
You saw Maximilian Galactica heading toward the scene? You sure of that?
Without a doubt. He had on his silk hat, cloak, and the dumb white roses on his chest. How could you mistake someone with that crazy getup and his nose stuck up so high?
That's enough. I think we all get the picture. Just one thing. You said you ditched the clown?
That's right, dress boy.
Well, since you went with him, couldn't that mean the clown committed the crime? He's got a point.
What a shame. It was a nice theory, but the clown can't be the culprit.
Why's that?
Here's absolute proof.
Silk hat?
This was found at the scene of the crime. It belongs to the defendant.
So?
Without question, he was wearing his signature hat during practice. If the clown was the murderer, there would be no reason for this hat to be at the scene.
Well done, Miss Von Karma. Your prosecutorial skills are unrivaled. Well done.
Thank you for stating the obvious. Mr. Phoenix Wright, what do you have to say?
Okay. I guess she's the boss again today. The clown? You're talking about Mo? Of course I'm talking about that old fart. He's so pathetic I can't stand him. Just a little bit of exercise and his makeup is running all over the place. Once practice was over, he was 9/10 of the way to keeling over for good. Poor guy. We didn't have any choice, so Ben took him back to his room. When it comes to being a first-place loser, that guy's ahead of the pack.
And what happened?
Why the plaza's entrance? To do some thinking, of course. It was awfully cold out that night, especially with all the snow around. Wouldn't thinking in your nice warm lodging house have been a better idea?
Objection! Mr. Phoenix Wright, I think you should have leave the thinking to the witness.
But I'm a good thunker. At least my teachers always said I was.
Don't you mean thinker, Phoenix?
Are you sure it was really Max Galactica? Of course I'm sure. How could you mistake someone wearing such snobby three-piece getup? Snobby three-piece getup? Get the wax out of your ears. Lawyers nowadays, you're like talking to a brick wall. Max's three-piece getup. Jeez, could you be any more dense? All together now.
Silk
Silk hat!
Cloak!
Cloak!
White roses!
White roses!
Thank you.
Nick, I think you should put a little bit more effort into preparing your questions.
You saw Max and only Max, right, Trillo? That's right, and that makes him the killer.
You sure about that?
There was only one person headed the way that night.
That makes quite a bit of sense and makes that Max one suspicious character.
There's more to this story than meets the eye. Is there something amiss in this?
Ben only saw Max?
That's a bit strange, don't you think? What's strange? That you only saw Max. Doesn't it seem like you should have seen someone else as well?
Where are you going with this, Mr. Wright? Who else do you suppose this witness could have seen?
Russell Berry.
That's the victim.
That's correct. If Trillo was at the entrance to the plaza, he should have seen the ringmaster as well.
Ow!
Obviously, the ringmaster arrived at the scene of the crime before the witness. Could have seen him. Anyone with a sense could have figured that out.
What are you talking about? The ringmaster and Max went together to the ringmaster's room.
Is that, according to the defendant, a likely story? If Maximilian Galactico was supposed to be in the ringmaster's room, why was he, just as the witness stated, at the scene of the crime?
I see. It seems at this stage I have no reason to doubt this witness's testimony. And there are clearly no conclusive contradictions.
He's right.
A brilliant judgment, Your Honor. Now, let's move along with this testimony. Trillo wouldn't happen to have an ulterior motive for incriminating Max, would he?
Well, Max is part of that bitter love triangle with Regina, which is probably why Max conked him over the head.
Nick? Wasn't Ben the one who got knocked over the head?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know anymore.
Seeing the crime, That's he was the only one. Next statement. There we go. Press that.
Around what time did the police arrive at the scene?
I suppose that would have been around... Hey, what time was it?
Huh? I think it was around a bit after 30 p.m., I think. Practice ended at 10 p.m., so you hung around the lodging house this entire time? I guess that sounds about right. Wasn't it awfully cold? I can't believe you just stand outside in that weather. Well, the truth is...
Will you shut up, you big-nosed dope? Why are you telling him anything extra? Why can't you just... Why can't you believe that we just stand outside in that weather?
Well, maybe you were waiting for someone?
What? Who said we were waiting for someone?
Objection! Mr. Phoenix right. We can all do without your off-handed theories.
Objection! But this witness, he's cracking under the pressure already. I'm on to something.
Mr. Wright. Who do you suppose
Regina.
the witness was out waiting for that night?
Regina.
Well, if he was waiting outside in the cold, it was for one person. And that one person only he was waiting for. The animal tamer, Regina.
What?
You were waiting outside for Regina to come back to the lodging house. Am I mistaken? Is this true?
Well,
you can't really ask me that question.
who cares who I was waiting for that night? What's important is what I saw. Don't you forget it.
Oh, well. The puppet may be a bit stiff, but he's right. Alright. There was obviously a reason why this witness was there that night. He spent all that time waiting for Regina to arrive. Moreover, even if someone else would have walked right in front of him, I doubt he would have paid them a second thought. That makes perfect sense.
Objection! What did you just say? The witness saw the defendant at the scene of the crime.
Objection! However, he did not see the victim on his way to his eventual demise. If you accept that, then you must accept that there is a high likelihood that he could have missed someone else other than Max heading to that scene. Ow!
There is absolutely no proof that the witness was waiting for the animal tamer.
I guess you got me. Alright. I'll spill the beans for real this time. It's true. I was waiting for Regina. Pain!
Oh, pain!
Don't volunteer things.
Mr. Quist, tell us the truth this time, and I mean the whole truth. Were you or were you not waiting for Regina at the entrance to the lodging house?
I was. I was waiting to propose to her.
You were what? Waiting to propose?
What's the matter? You think that humans have a monopoly on marriage?
The matter of puppet marriage is not under review in this case.
You're the judge! I mean, look at your horrible outfit!
More pain!
Thanks to your bumbling, my perfect planet is not so perfect anymore. Now we have to waste time getting to the bottom of some silly proposal by a puppet. That?
Don't be so surprised that I was going to propose... What?
Never mind, the screen blacked out for a minute, but it's all good.
Don't be so surprised that I was going to propose to Regina. I even had something to give to her. I kept it in my pocket, waiting for the chance to propose and give it to her. Of course, I also had it in my pocket that night. It was a present for her. In the end, I wasn't able to give it to her, so I've still got it in my pocket.
You were going to propose, a puppet.
Don't be so obtuse. Just because I'm a puppet doesn't mean I can't love.
I guess you're right. Just because I'm old doesn't mean I couldn't propose to her too.
Exactly.
His honor is looking a little less than honorable right now. Okay, Mr. Wright, please continue with your cross-examination.
What was with that sigh at the end? Let's talk.
By proposal, you mean proposing marriage, correct?
To Regina? Of course that's what I meant. What kind of stupid question is that? I wasn't going to propose that we become some sort of outlaw biker gang together. Right, Ben?
Yeah.
Got it. That's the truth. Are you gonna...
What was it exactly that you planned on giving her?
You know exactly what I was going to give her, numbskull. The only thing I could find that could match Regina's beauty.
Answer his question. What was it?
You're gonna die when you hear this. It's an engagement ring!
Engagement?
Ring? Wow, those two nearly fell out their chairs.
Mr. Phoenix Wright's joke has gone too far. Time for this to end right here.
Franziska's whip looks like it's about to lash out at almost anything. One hit from that thing will probably shut someone up for a long time.
Push on anyway.
It may be something of a joke, but this is a historic moment. The first time that a puppet has ever proposed to— Ow! Bitch!
I advise you to cut this argument short.
Bitch, you owe me a new suit. I'm going to have to agree with the defense here. Will the witness please revise their testimony? Specifically about the engagement ring. I'd like to stick to facts, not sociology.
You sure do enjoy sweating the details, especially for a man in a black bathrobe.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
Okay. Oh boy. I wish I could see the chat right now, but I'm on Discord, so that would mean I have to switch the YouTube app, and when I switch to an app, when I leave Discord, there's a 50-50 chance the screen would black out and I can't see it, so I honestly wish I could see what's going on in the chat, but, you know.
I'm back.
Welcome back. Perfect timing.
Okay, I plan on giving an engagement ring to Regina.
Hold it.
An engagement ring? Uh-huh. It's actually a diamond-shaped stone cut from glass. Even more brilliant as the real thing. I think Regina's going to love it.
It's just a ring.
What's the matter, Nick?
Well, there's got to be something I can catch him on.
Hold it.
Whose pocket was the ring in?
Mine, of course. What a stupid question. You've got to be kidding me. You think Ben could pull that off?
I'm sorry, really.
You don't have to apologize for that. He's the one that should be apologizing. Oh, shit.
Really?
Let's just keep pressing everything and then I follow the contradiction.
So you went to the lodging house to give it to her?
That's right. I tried to give it to her during practice so many times that I lost count, but that uppity snob kept getting in the way.
Uppity snob? He couldn't possibly be talking about me, Maximilian Galactica. When I get a hold of him... That's
okay.
Max. When I get a hold of
All
him,
right.
I'm going to saw his wood block in half, and not with magic.
Well, they always say that love creates rivalries.
So what about this present?
So you're still thinking of trying to give it to Regina? Of course I am! I spent 3 months' salary on that thing, and I'm not going to give up that easily.
I wonder how much he receives for appearing in the circus.
Probably way more than he deserves.
How about it, Nick?
I think it's about time to unwrap this toy's testimony.
That's the spirit, Nick. Give him heck. Alright, I know what it is.
The judge looks that dazed and confused look again. Maybe he should get out more.
Alright. No. There we go. Kept it in my pocket. Have the ring out.
Objection!
Trillo, do you mind if I show you something?
What is it?
Oh, what is it?
What are you talking about?
Oh, Looks like they're going to double team me now. Do you recognize this ring?
Ah, that's mine! Give it back! Thief! Thief!
Didn't you just testify about this very object? I believe you said, in the end, I wasn't able to give it to her, so I've still got it in my pocket. Why then do I have it right here?
Ah!
What is going on here?
That's... Ben, say something!
Oh, don't put me on the spot like that, Trillo. I found this in Money's room. Money's room? You mean a room where they put money? Like a bank vault?
That filthy monkey is gonna get what's coming to him.
Mr. Quist, I would prefer if you avoided slandering innocent fiats in my court. Well, Your Honor, Money really is a monkey. In every sense of the word. Ah, I see. Well then. Money likes to go after the shiniest things that he can find and gather them up. Shiny things? Trillo, when was this ring stolen from you? Well, I suppose it was that time, you know, that night, the night of the crime.
What did you just say?
Details. I need more details. Well, it was stolen right after Max showed up in the plaza. Right about when you saw the defendant walk past, correct? Well, I guess you might be able to say that. The ring might have, well, could have been taken around that time. Monkey! Ah! Ow! Ugh! Ugh.
I hate monkeys.
They can be vicious little bastards.
Ben, what's with you?
Oh, whatever.
Whatever. It has nothing to do with anything, especially not who committed the murder.
It's not for you to decide who has to do with what. Now, Trillo, back to the topic at hand.
I haven't admitted a thing. Not I, Mr. Trillo Quist.
What did you do when the ring was taken, Trillo?
You know exactly what I did. I chased after that ring-snatching monkey Money.
But you weren't able to catch up with him, were you? It's all this slow, loafy fool called Ben's fault.
While he was fumbling his way through the snow, that dumb monkey was able to get away.
Oh, that is indeed an incredible shame. Well, this does indeed prove one very important point.
Prove an important point? What point could that possibly be? Ben's testimony has a flaw.
There is a huge contradiction in this witness's testimony.
Contradiction?
The witness just testified to the following effect. Up until the police arrived, he didn't move from the entrance to the plaza. However, the witness just stated that he chased after Money the monkey. When the witness was off chasing Money, there was no one watching the plaza.
What is the meaning of all this, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Where are you going with this little theory of yours?
I'm saying that there's no possible way for this witness saw the plaza the entire time. That's where I'm going to go with this little theory, which leads me to my next point. It is entirely possible that someone other than the defendant was at the scene. Interesting.
Objection! Well then, tell me this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Do you have any proof that something slipped past his vigilant ventriloquist?
Objection! Well, he obviously didn't see the victim, the ringmaster, arrive on the scene.
However, that doesn't change the fact that he saw the defendant arrive.
The witness is lying. He is blinded by his rivalry with Max. Well, the defense's argument does hold water. This witness does have a history of animosity towards the defendant.
What? How dare you? I wouldn't lie just to get the dork face in trouble. He's not even worth it. I saw him. No doubt about it. I saw that worthless liar.
Well, just for clarity's sake, let's flesh out exactly who you saw on that night.
Ha! I've told you so many times. You think you'd know my story? Story's not changing.
You already changed your story, stick boy, and I'm sure it will change some more.
Where there is one lie, there is usually many more behind it.
Exactly, Maya. That's why we have to keep after him.
Yeah.
I'll give you that I was waiting that night for Regina, but that doesn't change the fact that I saw Max in the plaza that night. He showed up after that. I'd been waiting for about 5 minutes. I said good evening to him, but he didn't even acknowledge my presence. I'm absolutely sure it was him. I saw Maximilian Galactica on the scene. There's no way I could mistake someone wearing those 3 ridiculous symbols.
So that means that money didn't show up until after you saw Max?
That's right. Money ran up less than a minute after I saw Max.
Then Money snatched the ring and you went chasing after him? How long was it until you came back to where you were waiting?
Well, let's see. I'd say about...
I suppose 5 minutes, I think.
So the victim could have arrived on the scene in that 5-minute stretch.
Mr. Wright, please proceed with your cross-examination.
Let's talk.
So you were only concerned with waiting for Regina that night? That means you probably wouldn't have noticed if someone else showed up.
You should think about how many eyes I actually have. I got 4, you know. 4. F-O-U-R. Counting Ben, of course. With that many eyes, do you really think someone would have slipped by me?
4 eyes is an awful lot of attention directed at one area, I suppose.
Yikes! The judge is even more dangerous to our case than Trillo. But that doesn't change the fact that I saw Max in the plaza that night. He showed up after I'd been waiting there for about 5 minutes.
Oh.
Oops.
Oh yeah, go back. Back to the second statement. Go back to the second statement.
So you saw Max coming out of the big top that night?
Of course, that's where I saw him coming from. I was staring at the entrance to the tent the entire time.
I guess that makes sense, especially since he was waiting for Regina.
He showed up after I'd been waiting there for about 5 minutes.
About what time do you say these events took place?
You're one of the dumbest people on the planet if you can't figure it out yourself. You already know that practice finished promptly at 10 p.m. And you already know that I went to the lodging house right after practice. You don't need a brain surgeon to know what time it was when I saw him. Just add 10 more minutes. I'm sure you can do that. Now, what time was it?
Indeed, what time was it?
What time was it? Let me think about that for a second.
Ow!
It was 10:10 p.m.
Yes, that sounds about right.
It sounds about right because that's the time when I saw Max on the scene.
Press.
So you testified that you said good evening to Max that night? You must enjoy asking incredibly obvious questions. You say good morning in the morning and good afternoon during the day, right? And it's obvious that I'd say good night to someone at night. What, Ben? You got something to add? Let me guess. That's not it, Trillo? You say good evening at night.
I'm sorry, Trillo. Mr. Twist, I would prefer if you kept your ventriloquist act outside the courtroom.
Impossible. A performer lives and breathes his performances. You should know better.
There's gotta be something wrong with this bit of testimony.
His greeting.
Isn't that a bit strange to you?
What do you mean?
Well, if you hate Max so much, why would you bother being nice to him? It strikes me as somewhat strange.
Why would it strike you as strange?
Exactly. How is it strange to be cordial to one of your coworkers?
Well, if it was simply just being cordial to a coworker, I would understand.
Ow! That hurt!
Maybe you should think of your having some proof before your lips start flapping next time. Oh, but we have proof. Proof is everything in this world. You should have learned that back in grade school.
There's no reason that Trillo would ever say something nice to Max. How do I go about proving the evidence?
Bluffing is everything in this world, but I'm sure you already learned that one.
I guess I can give it a shot. The witness will resume his testimony.
You are 100% absolutely sure of what you just said. I told you already. Jeez, I'm 100% absolutely sure.
There's no way that he could be any more confident than that, right? Okay.
Those 3 ridiculous symbols, huh? Out of curiosity, exactly how many times have you asked that question by now? If you're gonna ask again, I'll answer with a chorus. Everyone together now!
Silk hat!
Silk
Cloak!
hat! Cloak!
White roses!
White roses!
Thank you very much. Maya, you didn't have to join in, did you?
But it's fun shouting out with everyone else. There has to be a hole in his testimony somewhere. I know what it is.
I agree. But do we have the proof to make something stick?
All we can do is try, right, Nick? We've got to have something that will prove useful.
Alright, time to go to work.
All right, you said good evening to Max, but what about the bottle?
Trillo, is it not true that you had a fight with Max on the day of the murder?
A fight?
A fight over Regina, to be exact. It wasn't a big of a deal, it was just an argument, a disagreement at most. A disagreement usually doesn't end with someone getting clonked over the head. Well, in Glasgow it does. Ah! That morning, Ben got clobbered over the head by Max, didn't he?
What? Is that an admission of assault and battery? Oh,
Before we handle that, we should wrap up the defendant's murder charge first.
The truth is that on that day of the crime, the defendant and witness had a huge fight. There's absolutely no way they would have suddenly become cordial that evening. Moreover, just consider the personality of the witness on the stand. There's no way a puppet this lewd would just up and say good evening to his rival.
ah,
Objection! Are you saying this witness is lying? That he is trying to frame the defendant by claiming to have seen him at the crime scene?
I didn't tell a single lie, honestly.
that's enough from you, Mr. Quist. Mr. Wright,
Yes, Your Honor.
let's clarify this testimony for the court. Could you explain your theory about the witness, what the witness actually saw that night?
He saw a different person.
It is my belief that the witness did indeed see someone that night. It was just someone else. That's who he said good evening to.
What kind of theory is that?
The correct one. Furthermore, I don't believe the person the witness saw was Max at all.
What?
If he had truly met Max that night, there would have been no greeting at all. Which means there's only one proper answer. The person the witness saw that night was not Maximilian Galactica. That is why Trillo made the effort to greet whoever it was he saw that evening. Or good evening, as he put it.
What in the world? You...
Would the defense kindly explain who it was Trillo saw that evening then?
Russell Berry? Yes.
Considering the ill temper of this witness, there's only one person he would greet.
It must be Regina. It's Regina, right? She's so cute.
No, Your Honor. It's not Regina. If it was Regina, Trillo would have given her the engagement ring as a present.
Oh, yeah. I suppose you've got a point there.
It was Russell Berry, the victim himself, was it not?
You are correct. It was indeed Russell Berry. The person you saw that evening was the victim, the ringmaster Russell Berry. That's why you greeted him, Trillo. Isn't that correct? Answer the question, Mr. Quist.
Order! Order! How do you respond to this?
Wait a second. Well, at first I thought it was the old man, but once I got a better look at him, it was obviously Maximilian Galactica.
I think it's high time that we clear the air about this question. Mr. Quist obviously witnessed a single person in the area of the plaza that evening. The problem is identifying exactly who that person was. Was it Maximilian Galactica? Or was it the ringmaster, one Mr. Russell Berry?
The prosecution argues that it was the defendant that the witness saw that night. The witness has clearly stated that he saw the defendant's 3 symbols.
3 symbols. Alright, this is getting old. Come on, man, you've got to remember them by now. Here we go again. Everyone, all together now. Ow!
Yes, we know. The silk hat, cloak, and white roses.
Objection! A silk hat and a cloak. Anyone could wear them. They'd even look good on me.
What was that?
Well, the witness has endlessly repeated that he saw Max's 3 symbols. However, how do you really know it was Maximilian Galactica? It could have been someone else dressed up as him. Possibly even Russell Berry.
What?
Miss Von Karma.
Uh.
Do you have clear evidence that this person the witness saw was the defendant?
Well,
If that's the case, then it's impossible for me to make a judgment at this point.
Yes! I think we finally won a point in this one.
That is a very unfortunate.
Huh?
You're just a little too excited for your own good, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
What do you mean by that?
You merely established one thing from this witness. You established that this witness saw one person in the plaza that night. I applaud you on your effort, but
But
who that person was can only be answered by that next witness.
Huh?
Your Honor, the prosecution will provide beyond a shadow of a doubt an answer to that question and evidence that clearly establishes one thing. That there is no one other than Maximilian Galactica responsible for this crime.
very well. The court will take a 10-minute recess. During that time, I request the prosecution prepare their next witness. Court is now in recess.
Phew.
Sweetie, you have to believe me. I didn't go anywhere near that crime scene.
So then, where were you when the murder took place?
We talked about it yesterday, remember? I was in the ringmaster's room. And while you were there, it was the ringmaster who left... Oops. And while you were there, it was the ringmaster who left the room, right? Exactly. He told me to wait in the room because he would be right back.
That's when the ringmaster headed to the scene of the crime, right?
That's what it seems like.
But the ringmaster must have been wearing Max's costume, right?
Oh, sweetie, I just remembered. I went straight to the ringmaster's room still dressed in my stage clothes. But when I got there, I went ahead and took the costume off.
Which means...
It means that the ringmaster could have taken his costume and went out looking like Max.
Fabulous! That is a fabulously possible possibility.
Well done, Nick.
However, sweetie, why would the ringmaster want to dress up like me? Isn't that a bit strange? If you think about it, all they found at the crime scene was my silk hat. What about my cloak? Where did that go? Double,
Wow, Max, never thought of it. I never thought of that. You should be a detective or something.
Well, I was never quite sure what to be when I grew up. Magician or president. You have no idea how hard it was to make a decision.
That's really cool.
Fabulous. That mystery just keeps getting deeper.
Oh boy.
Now that everyone is back, let's get started. The court is now back in session. Miss Von Karma, please proceed with the prosecution's case.
Very well. I will now call my next witness. A pitiful clown with the unfortunate distinction of having seen the entire thing. Will Mr. Lawrence Curls please take the stand?
Why did she just call him a pitiful clown?
That's what he is. The witness will state his name and occupation for the court record.
Ow! In West Clodopedia.
Name and occupation!
Will the witness please inform the court why he's speaking in autobiographical gibberish?
I'm sorry. I'm just not used to being in court. I've never been in a courtroom in my life. I wasn't quite sure what joke is best suited to this sort of occasion.
What in the world are you talking about? You're in a grand hall of justice, not some comedy club. Since it's easy to see your occupation, please state your name for the court.
Yeah. Maybe this joke is okay. Mom, do I have to wear pants? The sign says no shirt, no shoes, no service.
Cricket, 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 cricket.
Boo,
Wow.
Boo, you stink!
Wow, tough crowd. Okay. How about this? Have you met my proctologist, Dr. Seymour Butts? How about that one? Ow! But a couple of clowns who went up to no good.
Your name.
Lawrence Curls, professional funny man, also known as Mo the Clown.
You're a witness the scene at around 10:15 p.m. the day of the murder. Correct?
Yes, it is.
Very well, Mr. Curls, will you please testify to what you saw that evening?
A rabbi, a priest, and a Rastafarian walked into...
Without the humor, please.
Okay. Wow, tough crowd.
Aw, poor Mo. Can't be his normal stoogey self in court. Maya!
He does look like one of the Three Stooges.
Like who?
He does look like one of the Three Stooges, funnily enough.
Which one?
Can't remember their names.
I know, I'm not the greatest comedian in the world. I haven't been able to make people laugh for 10 years. No matter what I say, all I get in return is a vacant stare and polite applause. Since no one ever laughs at my jokes, I've taken to laughing at them myself. It's a bad habit, but hey, at least I'm trying. Imagine my predicament. I'm a clown who can't make people laugh. I'm almost useless. But I keep trying. I even tried to come up with jokes just for today. But this atmosphere is very nerve-wracking. I decided to try and make everyone laugh. Seriously, everyone! What do you think of me? How am I doing?
Aren't we the ones supposed to be asking the questions here?
Witness,
Huh?
we will listen to your call for help after the court proceedings are over. Thus, please stick to the facts of this case.
Really? You'll hear me out?
Well, I'll make sure that one of my staff will be your straight man later.
Thank you. I can't wait.
Poor Gumshoe. Now that that's settled, shall we begin once again with the testimony?
Of course we can. I'll talk for as long as you want.
Okay.
The night of the murder, after practice was over, I went straight back to my room. You have no idea how tired I was that night. I was pooped. I thought I'd go straight to sleep, but before I did, I glanced out the window. That's when I saw two silhouettes. They were a bit far away, though. It was the ringmaster. He was with Max, who was wearing his cloak. I kept watching him, and all of a sudden, Max clunked the ringmaster over the head.
That's very interesting. If this eyewitness account is to be believed, I have enough to pass judgment right now.
Of course you can. There is no way that this account can be criticized.
However, the witness is a bit, how do you say, off-kilter. Almost like he has some sort of atmosphere of guilt surrounding him.
That must be because of my insincere smile.
all right. Please begin the defense's cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor.
Nick, you gotta find some kind of contradiction in his testimony.
I know that. Mr. Wright. Your Honor, I'm afraid that if you push this witness too far, it will bring disaster upon the court. Thus, I sincerely hope you're not going to engage in pointless saber-rattling. I understand, Your Honor.
If you cause this clown to stray from the facts, I'll hold you responsible. Oh, great, we'll be penalized for it.
Why am I responsible? I'm not the one with the corny jokes.
All right. Go to his third statement. Press that.
Okay. Give me a second.
All right.
Whew. Sorry, I was just having some water.
No. There you go. You glance out the window.
You just happened to glance out of the window.
You could say that. You could also say I peeked, stared, glimpsed, peeked, eyeballed. Mr. Curls! Oh, I guess synonyms aren't allowed either.
What should I do? I wonder if I should press him further on this issue.
Keep pressing.
Exactly why did you look out the window that night?
Why? Why? Clowns don't need a reason to look out their windows, do they?
That's not what I meant. I meant that, well, when we spoke yesterday...
Once I had tucked myself into bed, I heard this amazing noise. It was incredibly loud. It sounded like a giant thump. Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
You forgot?
Your Honor, the witness looked out of his window upon hearing a loud sound. He did not just simply glance out of his window that night.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot to mention that thump, didn't I? Ow!
That's not something you just forgot to mention.
Lady, I'm not an animal. Go tame the animals.
You're an animal to me, fool.
Yeah, what she said.
The timing!
I believe it would be best if Mo were to revise his testimony. Once the female voice actress has calmed down.
Yes, of course.
Wow! Holy shit!
Yes, let's give some time for Miss Shadow to calm down, shall we?
Okay, the timing. Holy shit!
Lady, shut up!
Von Karma, shut him up.
Ow!
I'm done.
Are you sure?
Yes.
To the judge's white face, are you sure?
I'm done. I'm done. I'm done.
Very well. Mr. Curls, please revise your testimony. This should start turning the tables in our favor.
Now go to the sixth statement. Wait.
You
Press
really,
that, maybe?
You really studied this, didn't you?
Alright, hold on.
This one?
The sixth statement, yes. Press it.
You say you saw the ringmaster get clonked over the head?
Yeah, I did. It was the climax of my story.
He really does enjoy the completely random non sequitur.
Sequitur.
Sorry.
Yeah.
What would you say the victim was struck with?
You mean the weapon? I have no idea. A weapon wasn't found at the murder scene, right?
That's not what I meant. You did say you saw everything, didn't you?
Well, yeah, I suppose I did. Wait, no I didn't. I didn't see a weapon.
Mo! Did you or did you not see the crime or murder committed that night?
Objection!
What now?
I will not permit you to harass my witness in this manner. You better have an excellent reason for attacking this poor clown. Because if you don't, you know what is waiting for you. A nice penalty.
It's a bit melodramatic.
So what will it be then, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Do you have any clear basis to believe that my witness did not see the crime? Of course I do.
I've got a great reason to make my claim.
And I suppose you will be telling us all that great reason?
Of course I will. The reason is, the witness's very own testimony.
What is the meaning of that, Mr. Wright?
Mo said that he heard a sound like a thump of something getting hit.
He did say that.
However, Mo just stated the following under oath. I kept watching them and all of a sudden, Max clonked the ringmaster over the head. If Mo is to be believed when he says he looked out the window upon hearing a sound, there is no way that he could have seen Max clonk anyone.
Mr. Curls, how do you respond to Mr. Wright's assessment?
They didn't commit. These clowns promptly escaped from a maximum security clown car.
Mr. Curls, are you reciting the C-Team theme to anger this court?
No.
Da 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 da.
I'm just stalling for time while I jog my memory.
The A-Team. Great job, Nick.
These type of witnesses always seem to have a selective memory. You just have to peel back the layers of the clown to find the truth. Well,
you're back from your jog.
Well, it pretty much happened the way I said. Pretty much. When I looked out my window that night, the ringmaster was already face down in the snow. The prosecution helped me fill in the gaps of my statement.
What was that?
Von Karma? Tampering with the witnesses again?
So now you are saying that you did not see the defendant clonk the ringmaster?
Yes. When I looked out my window, the ringmaster had already checked out.
Checked out?
Yep, he was on permanent vacation, as they say. Oh, come on! That was a good one.
Mr. Curls!
Your Honor?
You did not witness the actual crime, however, you still say you saw the criminal, correct?
Yes, exactly! The ringmaster was slumped over and I saw someone's silhouette next to him.
Very well, then please testify to the silhouette that you saw. I expect the truth. And if I even catch a hint of a joke from you, I will put you in a holding cell until you learn court etiquette. Got it?
Got it. It was a bit far away, but that shadow could only have belonged to Max. There's no doubting it, especially since I saw his uppity symbols. His silk hat, that black cloak, they were all there. His face was silhouetted, but there's no doubt that it was him. His cloak was fluttering in the wind, so I couldn't really see what he was carrying.
Oh, really? Is that a fact?
It does seem as if the defendant was at the scene of the crime.
It took the clown long enough to get his facts straight. But whatever, this should finally be good enough, yes?
It is decisive testimony.
Was Max really at the crime scene that night, though?
He said he wasn't there. We have to believe in that.
All right, Mr. Wright, commence your cross-examination.
All right. I'll tell you when.
Really, Simi? Wow, Mobid has a morbid sense of humor. Hey,
right,
I'm the
I'll
one
tell you
supposed to
when.
make the jokes here.
I make the jokes, bitch!
I make the jokes, got it?
No. Present the poster.
Oh, wait. Would it not be this bit?
Yeah. The poster, yes.
That cloak ain't black.
Yeah, there!
Objection! Objection! Hold on! You say you saw all of Max's uppity symbols. I suppose so. The silk hat and the cloak, right? Mo. Everyone knows that Maximum Galacta has 3 uppity symbols. 3 symbols?
Yay! Everyone, get ready! All together now!
Silk hat!
Silk hat!
Cloak!
Cloak!
White roses!
White roses!
What the?
Who cares if he knew whether there were 3 or not? He saw what he saw, and he saw the symbols. He just forgot to mention 1. Isn't that right, Mo?
Ow! What?
Pie, the math pie.
Yeah.
Silence, fool. You are to respond with the whole truth. No fractions.
Order! Order! Mo, you didn't see the roses, did you? To be honest, there weren't any roses on that person I saw.
Objection! The crime scene was dark. It's obvious it was too dark to see that kind of detail.
Objection! But the witness said he was able to see the silhouette of the criminal's face. Not to mention that the roses are white. There's no way you could have missed them.
Objection! Then the roses must have fallen off when the defendant assaulted the victim.
If that was the case, then the police would have found them near the crime scene.
Mr. Wright, are these white roses truly material to the facts of the case?
Clearly not. He's just toying with this court.
I got her on the ropes now. These seemingly insignificant facts have never failed to lead me to the truth yet.
Someone is toying with the court, but it's not me. Your Honor, do you recall Trillo's testimony? There's no way I could mistake someone wearing those three ridiculous symbols. How could anyone mistake someone with that crazy getup and his nose stuck up so high? How could you mistake someone wearing such a snobby three-piece getup? Trillo saw them all. Trillo saw all three of Max's symbols. However, this witness claims that there was no white roses on the person he saw. There's absolutely no doubt that there's a contradiction.
Now what am I supposed to think? One is supposed to disregard the pointless, but this...
Judge, forget the roses. Think about his other testimony. The witness has stated without a doubt that he saw Maximilian Galactica. Nothing else matters. Let's wrap up this case now.
Your Honor, it may be trivial, but it does cast doubt on the prosecution's case.
Frankly, I have my doubts about this witness. It seems that, unlike wine, this witness has not grown more mature with age. I'm not mature. I've come to a conclusion. I'm 99% certain that this witness saw the defendant. However, my remaining 1% of doubt is quite reasonable, which means that for my peace of mind, I'm going to request a bit more testimony.
What?
If there's no contradictions in his next statement, I am prepared to issue a ruling.
A ruling?
Nick, this is your last chance.
There's no doubt in my mind there were no white roses that night. However, all the other symbols were there. I'm equally sure of that. Especially the silk hat. There's no way I could forget seeing the decorations on that. He was wearing it the entire time he was on the scene.
About that hat.
Mr. Wright, you've got one last chance at this.
Just one chance?
I will not allow even the slightest hint of badgering against the witness. If you are going to prove me that there's a contradiction with Mr. Curl's statement, you'd better have at least a shred of evidence to back up your accusations.
I only got one single shot at this. I've got to be careful. I understand, Your Honor. One chance is all I will need.
I know exactly what it is. No. 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 The hat!
Present the hat?
Yes.
That wouldn't happen to be the silk hat you saw that night, would it?
Yep, that's it. That's the hat he was wearing that night.
No question in your mind.
Exactly how one would mistake a thing like that.
I see.
Is there some sort of problem, Mr. Wright?
Miss Von Karma, where exactly was the silk hat found?
Must you always ask these questions? It was found at the crime scene. The crime scene? That means...
The silk hat fell off at the crime scene. However, the witness clearly testified to the contrary. The witness stated that he was wearing it the entire time he was on the scene.
No! That's not true! Order! 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 Mr. Curls!
Yes, Your...
Yes, Your Honor? What is the meaning of all this? You are old enough to know better than to behave like this in the court. Hey, that's not right. That's so harsh. What's not right here is your eyesight and your memory, amongst other things.
Judge is mad.
Why are you being so mean to me? What did I do?
Let me guess. You just didn't like my jokes or something, right? You didn't have to go and insult my eyesight or my memory. They're both great. Seriously. Why? Just because...
Re.
Enough of these childish outbursts, Mr. Curls. Who do you think you are?
I saw him. I swear I saw him. It was Max. Even if he didn't have his roses, he was still wearing his dumb silk hat. I'm telling the truth.
He's turned into a bratty little kid.
It's pitiful, isn't it? He left the scene wearing that dumb silk hat. He was there.
He left the scene?
What's the matter, Nick?
There's something I've been mulling over for a while now. Mo.
What do you want?
You just said that he left the scene. Exactly how did the murderer leave the scene of the crime?
He went... What do you mean, how did he leave the scene? You can't ask me that.
Objection! Mr. Phoenix Wright is badgering the witness, Your Honor.
This witness's testimony is so full of holes, Miss Von Karma. Miss Von Karma's protest is useless. You've got a point. Let's hear what the witness has to say on this matter. Is that all right with you, little guy?
Don't talk to me like I'm a little baby. Besides, what kind of stupid question is how did he leave the crime scene? The answer is obvious. He just turned around and walked away.
Really?
That's what I expected you to say. You sure that's how it happened?
Say what?
I'm not sure how exactly where you're going with this. Lawyers nowadays sure do love to harp on the smallest things. Do you have any proof to counter the story of how the criminal left the scene?
The crime photo. No prints.
Look at this picture. The problem is the footprints in the snow. Footprints? In this photo, we can clearly see the footprints of the victim. However, where are the criminal's footprints? They aren't there. So, Mo, exactly how did the criminal escape the scene? Your Honor, this witness has already proven that his testimony is completely unreliable. I move to strike all of this witness's testimony from the court record. I agree. This clown's testimony is as rickety as the clown car he came in court in.
Just wait a second. You guys can't just ignore everything I said. Fine, I'll tell you the truth this time.
You wait a second! I think you said more than enough for today.
That didn't hurt. I'm sick and tired of listening to you anyways. I'll give you all the real deal this time, I swear.
I don't know why, but I get the feeling things are gonna get worse before they get better.
Mr. Lawrence Curls.
Yes?
The testimony you provided up to now has been false.
It hasn't been false. I haven't lied. It's just
what?
It's just I was a bit confused on the bit about the criminal leaving the scene. Especially since Von Karma and her whip told me not to talk about what I really saw.
Order! Order! I will have order! Franziska Von Karma, how could you?
Busted. Your Honor, if you had heard the truth from this witness, you would have exactly the same opinion as I have.
What opinion is that?
It's not funny.
That's enough out of you. I'm going to listen to what he has to say. Now then, let's hear the truth about what you say you saw, Mr. Curls.
Ha! You're not gonna believe this, but it's all true, I tell you.
Try not to waste our time with your idiotic drivel.
Now it's time for our next segment, Mo Knows! Everything that I've said up until now has been the truth. When I looked out the window, the ringmaster was down and Max was standing above him. He wasn't wearing his white roses, but he was wearing the silk hat. That's when I saw he... This is the truth now. Get ready for it. He flew. He jumped and flew through the air. He flew right off and disappeared into the darkness. That's why there was no footprints. Flying people don't leave footprints.
I told you it wasn't funny. Do you believe me now?
Well, that was, how do you put this into words?
Mac Galactica is a world-class magician. But to leave the scene of a crime by flying, there's no way that actually happened.
You're right.
Why is she right? You believe the other witnesses? Why won't you believe me? Especially since it's the best part of the story.
To be honest, this is the first time I've heard of a flying criminal. What do you think about this witness's testimony, Mr. Wright?
He's telling the truth.
What he said was so strange, I don't think he would have made it up. Which means he is telling the truth? That's what I think.
Nick, wait! That means that Max actually used magic.
Yikes, you're right. Ow!
Only a foolish-looking fool could be fooled by such a foolish fool's foolish dream. Don't be ridiculous. Magic does not exist.
I suppose I'll let you all on my thinking regarding this matter. The criminal disappeared into the sky. I'd love to believe that. But I just can't wrap my head around how that could actually happen.
You imbecile!
If you disregard a need for proof, Miss Von Karma, Miss Von Karma's case is sound. However, I got the feeling that this case is in dire need of more investigation. Thus, I will conclude today's proceedings at this point. It is an undisputed fact that the criminal left no footprints at the scene. Tomorrow, I want us to find out the reason behind the mystery of mysteries. I believe that's enough for today. Court is adjourned.
Perfect trial. In your face, Von Karma. You little shit!
Hey, sweeties, what in the world is going on? That's what I want to know.
They say the criminal flew off into the air and disappeared.
Max,
That's you.
I can't believe I'm asking this, but you didn't fly that night, did you? I know you didn't mean to ask me such a fabulously stupid question. I can't fly whenever I please. It's not that easy.
But it looks so effortless for you on your stage.
He's doing it with lines, Maya.
I know.
It's not that simple. I'm not actually flying on stage. I use invisible wires and have them hoist me through the air.
Wow. You just told me the secret to your magic.
What'd you think it was, Maya? This isn't Dragon Ball Z.
Well, I'm sorry I didn't get out much, Nick. I'm sorry that I don't have a life.
Whatever you say, Maya. No, I broke the first rule. The cardinal rule. The only rule. I'm sorry, Max. We made you break a magician's creed to never reveal the secret of their tricks.
Nick, what do we do now?
All we can do now is hope we find the flying criminal in court tomorrow.
Great idea. Let's do our best and catch this sucker.
Phew!
All right.
God, I forgot how long that trial was. Especially with Mo.
God rest your vocal cords.
Yes, I'm gonna have to rest them for quite a few hours. Whew. Well, that's it for this week. Next week we'll probably wrap up the final investigation and trial.
Yeah.
So, anything to say before we sign off for the night?
That was great. Just that one part where I just kept laughing and like, are you done, Shadow? Like, okay, I'm done. That was just, oh my god.
Are you done, lady?
Yes.
Ugh. She's laughing, but it's not at me. Anyway, thanks for coming to the show, folks. Tune in next week for the final conclusion. Who was the flying criminal?
Tune in next week, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.